Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another episode of Muslimi Meets, where we honestly are so blessed we get a chance to talk with amazing Muslim performers, artists, shuyukh, du'at, business people, all Muslims from all different walks of life. And we're joined with our wonderful brother Isam from Outlandish. MashaAllah, assalamu alaikum.
Barakallahu feek.
I don't want to box you in. You're your own man.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of people know you from Outlandish, right?
Yeah.
MashaAllah. But we also are joined by my good friend here, Ilyas Mao, MashaAllah, and brother Maruf, who's joining us as our co-anchor for today as well.
MashaAllah.
Okay.
MashaAllah.
So a lot of different background and experiences on stage, but I think for us as artists, right, growing up, listening to the work that you produce, that you and your group were a part of, what does it feel like to come here to a place like this now and see, you know, the seeds of your labor, the fruits of your labor, all these, because when you started, it wasn't the norm.
No.
You know, Islamic artistry wasn't the norm, but now, mashallah, tabarakallah, you've helped build this whole avenue for everyone.
MashaAllah. Yeah, it's very inspiring to see. Honestly, it's very inspiring to see. And I can't take credit for anything, you know, all good things come from our creator. And, you know, I'm on the other side of the Atlantic, so yeah, sometimes you don't know what's going on. But but one thing that is good about RAS is that they're taking the arts pretty serious, and you can see that in the sound, like the sound system, the sound engineering, the stage, the lighting, you know, all these things, the visuals. They're putting money behind it, and that inspires us because you know, the mic needs to work, man.
Yeah, and it sounds basic, but it's real.
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
And another thing is, there's just too many Muslim events out there where, you know, they don't take the art serious enough, and you can always see it in the, you know, in the investment of the equipment. You know, with all due respect.
Yeah.
Because I don't care. I've been doing this for a long time, so you know, you can just shut the mic and I'll just do it without the mic. Because that's something. Sometimes that's just.
Sometimes it's gotta be like that too.
That's just what's needed.
Yeah,
you know?
I hear you.
You know?
I hear you.
Alhamdulillah. It's for me. I mean, I've always said that as long as I keep writing, as long as the passion, what drives me is the same energy, like it's my life, my identity, you know, as long as that is there and it fuels me, like, you know, that's then I keep being on stage, basically.
Yeah. But look, brother, I mean, taking account where you're from, right? Coming from Europe, and it's not a big Muslim population where you're from.
No.
The fact that you were able to transcend that small community, because a lot of artists get kind of stuck in their own little bubbles, you know, maybe they're Canadian artists only. The fact that you were able to transcend outside of Europe, you're traveling around the world, that sound is now influencing people outside of your culture.
Yeah, subhanAllah.
What I mean, it's crazy if you think about it, subhanAllah, how, and this was before social media, akhi. This is not today we got the click of YouTube, you know?
Akhi, I'm not good at social media. I'm not from that generation. I was before that.
You were from, I'm saying, like that notion of being popular or viral in the Muslim space before social media.
Yeah.
Talk about that world, because a lot of these young bucks, they don't know what that life was
Allahu
like.
Akbar, that was amazing.
Email,
amazing.
You know, I don't even know what you had to do to get on the shows and stuff like that. How was that situation?
I'll tell you what we did. We were signed on Sony, BMG first, and then Sony. You know what I'm talking about.
I do, yes.
And the industry is the industry. The industry is not evil or good. It's just an industry. It just needs it just needs music. It just wants hits. It doesn't care what you sing about. And we had Aisha.
Allahu Akbar, banger, mashallah.
And it just went out there. And to be honest with you, I couldn't even sing it at that time because we started out as rappers,
right,
and not singers,
right?
You know. And so I was like just playing with it in the studio, and the producer, he was like, "Hey man, that sounds good. Keep doing it." And it just ended up on the album, and I didn't want it to be on the album, to be honest with you, because I couldn't sing it. I couldn't sing it live,
right?
You know, and that's one thing I want to say to all artists that are watching, or if you don't know how to sing the songs you write live, you shouldn't release it.
You hear that?
Big-
take,
big-
take that advice, brother. Now he can sing live. Alhamdulillah.
Nah, alhamdulillah.
He's
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
talent,
yeah.
mashallah,
So, you know, because especially if it does, you know, if it becomes a worldwide hit, then you just in trouble.
Yeah.
So
You
wait
know?
a minute. You were saying how when you wrote Aisha, you weren't that great at singing that song live.
Live.
But you just killed it back there. How did you like?
Akhi, that's 20 years ago.
So
That's
what,
20 years
he's had
ago.
some time to practice.
You know, like you got rappers that you know in the vocal booth, they just kill it.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
Studio
then
rappers.
when you bring them on stage,
yeah.
they don't have the same energy.
Right.
And it's something with the way you breathe, and you know, because it's all in your mind. And sometimes it's the opposite. It's like people that can just bring that energy live, but when you go in the studio, you need to chill because you're messing up the whole track.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You know?
Absolutely.
And one of the artists out there that's balanced that and just killing it is obviously Lauryn Hill.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
But yeah, so you got a few cats out there that's doing, but Lauren took it to the next level until that's another chapter because that didn't have anything to do with her.
Yeah.
Art is just mental, you know.
Right.
So but subhanAllah, what I want to say about the industry is like, if you have a beautiful song, it does the crossover effect, and it just opens doors.
Yeah.
And that's by the will of Allah.
Allahu Akbar.
Wow.
That's the success. So if you don't have success as an artist, don't trip, don't stress. And that's what we all do because we all want that success, especially if you tasted it, because it's sweet. You know, it's really sweet. But it's not in your hands. You know, it's just not in your hands. So alhamdulillah, I mean, it went viral.
Viral before like viral was a thing.
Yeah, exactly. I remember like brothers and sisters here in America just sending us emails, fan mails, and like, hey, who you guys, and you guys from America? Or like, no, we're not from
That's what I
America.
thought in the beginning. I thought you guys were from
la,
America.
Yeah, there's no way these guys are from Europe. Like how?
No, but we just felt, I mean, we were really inspired growing up listening to you know, the American hip hop scene over here. And then you also had the French hip hop scene because people were looking like us.
Yeah.
But we connected with the minority mindset, you know, racism, struggling, growing up. We didn't really know about the ghetto and the, you know, all the filthy words, whatever. But we just felt that struggle and the pain. And from that, we were like, okay, we need to tap into what are we going through and how can we connect with that. So, like I said, for me, the inspiration has always been my own life and tapping into my parents' roots and everything, their heritage, you know, because there's so much gold there.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons that, you know, the American, it wasn't like all rappers, it wasn't just hip hop, it was some specific MCs that just did it for me. And just the other day, I heard Arrested Development. You have the rapper Speech. And he just, you know, when they came out, I really felt this guy, you know, because just of his flows and his ways of bringing the melodic side into it,
Right.
and the narrative, just talking like, I mean, that's the beauty of hip hop. It's just you talking, you know. But then you bring the dimension of knowledge and poetry into it. Yeah, and Fugees as well. Well, so huge.
I can hear a lot of Fuji's influence in you, by the way.
Yeah.
And a lot of myself as well. I'm, you know, grew up listening to the Fugees as well.
Mashallah.
Maruf, is there anything you wanted to chime in with, or?
No, I'm just listening. I'm just a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, you also came from Europe, right? You lived in Europe at one point.
Actually, I lived in Denmark. The same country.
Denmark. So what was it like in Denmark, you know, having these brothers local? And you think to yourself, like, oh, it's a small community, but we have superstars amongst us.
Honestly, I didn't know they were from Denmark, right? I knew their song before coming to... When was Aisha was launched?
Aisha is from 2002.
2002. Were you even born that time?
2000.
Yeah. I was in
He
like
was alive. No, okay.
I was in high school.
no, high school. Get out of here.
Yeah,
brother.
yeah,
You
we
So
were high
I came
school.
to Denmark 2003.
Okay.
Right? I'm coming from a country, Uzbekistan. You come with all the sunshine, and you do remember it was 2 years after 9/11. Things are crazy on TV.
Subhanallah.
You have this
Yeah.
identity crisis. You have no idea.
True.
I know Muslim to be a good guy. I don't know my roots. But I think I'm good, like among my Uzbeks. But you see on the TV, the guys are blowing up stuff and say, these are Muslims. Like, begin to have a crisis identity, right?
Yes, big
and this
time.
when you get this songs like, yeah, it's your escape.
Yeah.
And
That's a
there
really
you
good
go.
point. That's a really just to speak about the scenery back then when
the context,
when it was
yeah.
released, because it was after 9/11.
Subhanallah.
We our first album came out before 9/11.
Wow.
It was in 2000, and it didn't have an international breakthrough, but on a national
Battles
level.
of Water, what was it?
No, that was the second album.
Was
The
it-
first album was Outlandish Official,
Okay.
and it put us on the map in Denmark. And the second album, Bread and Bottles of Water, with that had Aisha, came out after 9/11, and Aisha became like an anthem for all the,
That's true.
you know, I don't know, like it was
for
almost
That was
like
the timing. That was the timing.
yeah, it was also it was you know it's like a Muslim thing as well, because we had a sister in the video teaching, and she had the hijab. You know,
mashallah.
I don't know where we had it from, man. Honestly, like I was just looking. That's what I liked about Fugees, because you had Wyclef, who was like from Haiti.
Yeah.
You know, and he was just just throwing that language in there.
culture.
So we had the Urdu and we had the Arabic, we had
Yeah.
the Spanish. You know, we just
And I noticed a lot of like international influence in your music.
Very much
So
so.
like like you mentioned the Urdu, the Arabic, even the Somali, right? The Moroccan.
yeah.
So is there any
Somali?
So the
What you
Somali
talking-
influence
Yeah.
in your music?
In our music, yeah.
Is there any culture that you haven't tapped into that you wanted to sound wise?
Probably, actually, the world is big. But at that time we were actually co-producing.
Ah, okay.
We were co-producing, so we'd listen to all types of things, looking for samples, looking for
Samples, yeah.
I don't do that much. I don't do that anymore, to be honest. Yani. It was just you're young, I mean, and you love doing what you're doing with your friends.
Yes, absolutely.
So all the teenagers that are watching this, it's always with your friends. Your friends are very important. Like we have a Moroccan proverb that says, "Tell me who you walk with, and I'll tell you who you are."
Exactly.
So and that was our thing. Like we went into the music and just started reflecting. Like, how can we represent where we from on the global hip hop scene?
Absolutely.
So we don't need to run away from our roots. We don't need to be embarrassed about our heritage, but we need to use it, and represent that. So that it just amplified. SubhanAllah.
How many little girls named Aisha walk up to you and say,
Yeah,
the song about me. The song
Yeah,
like
Allahu
first,
Akbar.
how many
Allahu
Aishas
Akbar.
have you run into since and said, my
SubhanAllah.
name directly came from that song?
Yeah, that song was. You got even white people,
Even white people say, hey,
even white people naming their kids Aisha.
In Denmark or in
ilaha
other places as well, we saw.
SubhanAllah, it's just
that's amazing.
and that's the message of the music as well, because or the how do you say, the tool, what music does to people.
It's a language.
That's what people use music for. Yes, it can be it can be used for the wrong reasons as well, and it's a strong strong tool, and it just grabs you. Like you just have that song in your head, and and people use it like your life soundtrack. You can mention 10 songs that just, hey, this was when I lost my father, or lost my mother, or I fell in love, or I had this with my friends, or mashallah, alhamdulillah, even to a point where people would tattoo your lyrics and come up to you like, hey, I just did this.
Wow.
I'm like, yo, okay, khair.
They tattoo your lyrics on them.
Allahu
folks.
Akbar.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
And There was one. I remember one person, and she was like, it was almost as if all she had in her life was music. Yeah, and she wasn't in a good place, but that was a thing. Like, and she had some sort of handicap. And
Okay.
Yeah, and she said, "I'll tattoo your face on my back or something." And I was like, that's when I woke up, and I was like, sister, I don't give you my blessings for that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can, yani, it's your life, but just, yani.
Don't get me in trouble just because of you. Man. It's not even worth it. Well, brother, how can people find out about the new work that you have coming out? I know you got another album you're working on as well.
Yeah.
Other projects. How can people talk about that, and how can people stay in touch with the great work you're doing?
Yeah, well, last year this is Danish. It's a Danish project because I sing in Danish. I'm born and raised in Denmark.
Yeah.
So I did this biography where I told I had my father's story in there, and then my father just gives me the mic, and I continue telling my story.
Wow.
What was important for me to tell with this book was, my father in first person telling his own story. And he's one of these guest workers, the migrant workers who came to Europe in the 60s.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah. I don't know when your parents came to Canada.
My parents came to Canada in the 80s.
In the 80s.
60s is that's trailblazing.
Yeah,
that was before
yeah.
everybody went anywhere.
So back then, you'd have a lot of Muslims, like Turks, Pakistanis, Yugoslavia, Moroccans, but these people have lived like 50 years in Europe, but they never said anything. They never expressed themselves. Or like my father said, he was like, because he gave me his blessings to do this project, but during the process, he took it back because it was so overwhelming.
Wow, he
like
got
suddenly.
deep. Wow.
Yeah, he was like, why should I be the first to do this?
SubhanAllah.
And he said, like, people who go, and this is in Denmark. Like he said, people like me who go to the mosque, we don't write books. We don't write books about ourselves. It's just an original thing. So why, if no one asked me for 50 years, why should I suddenly start talking about how I feel?
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Well, I mean, look, I think that immigrant mentality, and a lot of times, they came with nothing.
SubhanAllah.
Right? Built up their lives.
Yeah, and it was survival.
It was survival. It was survival.
And they didn't come up for da'wah.
Yeah.
They came for better days.
Wallahi.
So I understood him, we were just going back and forth with it. But alhamdulillah, it ended up with him giving me his blessings because he raised us that way, like an ambassador.
Sure.
He's always been an ambassador.
Yeah.
And he has the language as well, so there's no language barrier. Like a lot of immigrant generation, they have a hard time expressing themselves in that language in the country they live.
Right.
It's
not an easy language either.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not. So alhamdulillah, we did that, and I'm working on an album for that book.
Wow.
Connecting the book with the audio.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and because they brought Islam also, but like I said, it was survival mode.
Yeah.
And so that they couldn't just be themselves. You couldn't pray at work. If you prayed at work, you'd get fired.
SubhanAllah.
And so they would, hide that somewhere or wait, till you get back, till you get home.
Right.
So all these things, I believe they have an effect on our generation as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that generation, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here, obviously. We wouldn't be able to, the sacrifices they made, leaving their family, their friends, everything to come to this new land for us as their children to prosper. We always got to give shout outs to our parents and for the sacrifice they made for us to be where we are today and for us to... for
the Moroccan team, we saw the Moroccan team at the World Cup.
Wow.
And every time they won, they just, got their mothers on stage as well,
Wallahi.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I know like a lot of the commentators, European, whatever, they're like, why are they doing this?
They don't get it.
And I'm like, listen, you don't understand.
They don't get it.
The coach brought their mothers to these games, so just so they know why they playing.
Wow.
You know, where to get that power. I mean, all good, all power comes from Allah, but just so you don't forget.
Yeah.
You know, subhanallah.
And
And
that
it was,
legacy, man. From surviving to thriving. Allahu
Allahu
Akbar.
Akbar.
Allahu
Allahu
Akbar.
Akbar.
We have to thank Allah
MashaAllah.
subhanahu wa ta'ala for all the khair. And may Allah continue to bless you and your family.
Barakallahu
And
feek,
give you
Sidi.
tawfiq, inshallah, to continue on your
likewise,
journey.
likewise, Sidi.
And to continue, inshallah, inspiring the millions of people that have already been
yeah,
inspired,
man, you
inshallah.
always inspired me, man. Honestly, honestly,
Akhi,
mashallah.
we're just fractions, you know, alhamdulillah, the people
words.
that came before us. So,
Mashallah.
you know, I want to thank you for
Mashallah.
paving that way for people like myself and my brother
Barakallahu
here,
feek, Sidi.
and for
Barakallahu
all of
feek.
the artists that have benefited from the legacy that you've left behind.
Please.
May Allah continue to bless you and your family.
Ameen.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless all of our viewers watching here today, inshallah.
Mashallah.
Thank you very much for joining us on another episode of Muslimi Meets. We'll see you again next time. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.